Hello, dear teacher. This is lesson plan number 5. I'm going to start sharing my screen. And for this lesson, like you mentioned, all the informative data for the school doesn't apply. The theme for this lesson plan is going to be called Amazing Things to Do. The date is November 26, 2020, and the grade is Segundo Bachillerato General Unificado. The time for this class is going to be 45 minutes, and the proficiency level is B1.1, which is intermediate English. The lesson plan designer, it's me, Maria Jose Vinoza Jaramillo. And first, the objectives for this lesson are going to consist of the listening part, which are conversations, and also identifying vocabulary words of the topic that we're going to talk about. Also for the speaking part, we're going to be doing a reported speech and describe the different activities of using the topic, and we're going to be using the main topic as a main point of view for the students. And for the reading part, they're going to be reading conversations and identifying familiar words about the topic that we're going to be talking about. And also the writing part, they will need to rewrite statements as a reported speech. Okay, so for the methodologies, I picked the grammar transition method and the total physical response. For strategies, I'm going to be using a whole class work and peer work. As an anticipatory set, I will show students on flashcards with different outdoor activities. And here I'm going to be sharing with, students are going to be sharing their favorite activity, and they're going to be telling me, why do you like to do that? In this case, also, I'm going to put myself, I'm going to put as an example, me, where is my favorite activity to do outdoors or indoors, and I'm going to tell you why I like it. Here, some main teaching input, we're going to start with a warm-up activity where the students will need to listen to a song, and then the song will stop and they will need to freeze. And every time that somebody moves, they will have to go back to their seat or to their place. And here we are applying the total physical response. Since they're moving, they have movement involved in this activity. Okay, so for this part, I'm gonna be talking about the reporting speech. I'm gonna to report what a person says, we change the tense to a verb because we are usually making reference to a time in the past. Teacher will use the whiteboard to explain this concept. I'm going to be repeating this maybe 2 or 3 times until the student gets the main idea of this reporting speech. And this is, of course, an audiolingual method. And I'm going to be giving students a worksheet which they will need, where they will need to label the pictures with the correct word. And then students will read the complete the conversation. They will need to read and complete the conversation with words in the previous exercise. Okay, so here they will need to use the first exercise, and they will need to read and complete the conversation. I'll be observing. I'll be looking if the student has any questions or doubts. And after that, we're gonna go and we're gonna participate. The whole class is gonna participate, and we're gonna go over the exercise, the previous exercise, and students will have to give the answers of the conversation. And students will also have to look through their answers and compare it to the rest of the class or to the rest of the students. Then I'll be writing on the board a direct speech, and I'll be using simple present sentences. And for example, I'll be giving, I want to go to the beach, I want to go to to my house or things like that. And I'm going to be writing down on the board. And the whole class will need to participate here. And I'm going to be using sentences to change them to the reported speech. For example, she said she wanted to go to the beach. And that's part of the other sentence that I made. I want to go to the beach, and then they had to switch it and place it as a reported speech. They will need to say she said she wanted to go to the beach. That's one of the examples I'm going to be giving in the class. And of course, like any other lesson, I'm going to be assisting the students if they need any other sort of help, elaborating the sentences, constructing the sentences, or if they want me to repeat it once again, I'll be more than glad to do it. At the end of the class, I'm going to be doing a sort of a quiz for the students to see if they understood the class. And we're gonna have a very, very short quiz. For modeling, I'll be explaining all the activities, and students should be able to understand better what they are being asked for. Teacher will serve as a guide for them from the beginning of the class till the end of the class as well. And all the examples are done by the teacher, and I'm going to serve as a guide, of course, for students to develop all the activities properly. So I'm going to put myself as an example, and I'm going to be showing all the activities first so the student can be able to complete the task or complete all the activities as well once they see what I'm doing. And like I said, putting myself first. As a guided practice, they will do a worksheet where they need to read a conversation and complete all the sentences. And the whole class will be participating and sharing their answers. I'm going to be, like I said, helping the students with any questions and doubts. And also students will participate in changing teacher sentences. The ones that we wrote on the board, they will need to change it into a reported speech. As an independent practice, all the students will need to read conversations, rewrite statements, and use their speaking skills. They will need to demonstrate what they understand about the topic and of course in all activities. And they will need to label the pictures that we placed in the beginning. They will need to also identify all the vocabulary words. And also as an independent practice, they will need to do some homework. So they will need to search for information on the internet, and they will need to select a destination where they need to include pictures and details about that destination. And for an assessment, the teacher will assess the students always through. In this case, I'm going to be using participation in the class. And of course, I said I was going to do a short quiz. So I'm going to be assessing with the short quiz as well. And I'm going to see if the student was able to learn or understand the lesson. As a closing and a follow-up, I'm going to be reinforcing the topic. And like I've been doing, I'm going to be asking maybe some questions, or if they have, or if something is not clear for the student, they will need to come up to me and tell me and ask me. This is the chance for the student to say what did they understand. And of course, we're going to be reviewing the topic or the lesson. And of course, the homework that they need to do, which is they have to do a little research and information on the internet about a destination. They will need to talk about it using direct speech and add pictures and some details on their homework. So that will be for lesson number 5. And I'm going to show you what I'm using for the materials. Here are the materials I'm going to be using. The supplementary materials, one of them is the flashcards. I'm going to be using the flashcards of outdoor activities, and students will need to identify all these flashcards. I'm going to be using the video. This is the warm-up video, and this is the total physical response method that they're implementing into my lesson. And of course, I'm going to be using also the textbook, which is very important because here I have all the activities that I want the students to complete. And also this is the book that we are using for the class. And that will be all for lesson number 5. Thank you very much.